Greetings, everyone. My name is Etterville, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Operation Hardcore. During the last part, I completed the adventure game mode. So in this part, I'll be locating the secret exits and covering the 3 secret levels. From what I've learned, all of the secret exits are present in the last stages of every act. So the cave, the infected planet, as well as space. However, the secret exit at space is only unlocked if you complete the secret levels that are unlocked from cave and infected planet. So let's do this. I'll jump cut ahead to the secrets once I find them. So here's our first secret exit. They all have a subtle visual cue that indicates where it is. In this case, the subtle light is shining through. So onto Act 3-S, Cave Secret. Mind you, you can only find these secrets on the regular adventure mode. In competition mode, the secrets are disabled. This is neat. We have a stage that's playing from right to left. Not the other stages play this way, so a nice change of pace. That was super easy. I was expecting this stage to go by for a lot longer. So it now links up with the mountain range. So I'll meet you back at the infected planet secret exit. Here's the next secret exit. From what I've heard, most of the secret exits are located near the end of their respective stages. In this case, look up in the sky. In this stage, there were no clouds whatsoever excluding this one. And if you come close to here, you hear a subtle sound effect. There's a secret elevator over here. Although if you look at the achievements list, there is a big hint of where the next secret is for this stage. Now we're moving up into the clouds, or the atmosphere for this infected planet. I realize now that using bracing in combination with the spread gun is pretty useful because it reduces the amount of knockback by half. Another rather easy secret level. It even has the same power time. At least the spread gun is the best weapon to use here due to the high number of enemies. Next up, I'll see you at the secret exit in the space level. Aha, so that's where the secret exit was hiding. right in that extra meteorite, which didn't exist during my initial playthrough because I never explored and found those 2 earlier secret exits. Clever way of hiding it. And an easy way of getting an S rank on this level, or rather Baddest rank 3. On to Act SS, Super Secret. Very likely where I'll fight the true final boss. Only have access to the machine gun and no other upgrades. Let's buy some whiskey just in case. I have 5 lives. No shields though. Well, at least the game gives us 3 shields initially. 3 seconds of shields. Advanced Training Simulation Program loaded. Simulation. You need to know in that earlier segment that you can initiate a jump when in midair or when falling, and you'll still retain a double jump afterwards. One of the segments where I'm really thankful I didn't take the flamethrower. Gravity generator status critical. Reduce gravity then. More shields. Also, that really wasn't that sleuty there, achievement tracker. That was out there in the open. Long jumping. Another long jump. Disappearing platforms too. Rats, I should have initiated the jump from the left side. At least this was a checkpoint. And now we fight this final boss in this type of platform. Doesn't pierce enemy shield though. I wish I had any of the other weapons. But hey, this works. And this is more in line with what I initially thought the final boss encounter would be like. This would have gone a lot faster if I had access to another weapon. The machine gun, the flamethrower, or even spread gun. Especially without the plasma gun's upgrade. But in a way it makes the boss fight easier because I have a long-ranged, faster firing option now. Oh, thank you, game. I was hoping to have one of those drop. It seems that these drop after you die and lose your weapon. And therefore, the harder version of the final boss has been destroyed. This was easily the hardest stage in the game, and I was hoping that this would actually be the mandatory stage, instead of it being a secret. Although the boss fight, at least in the first half if you have upgraded weapons, is easier than some of the boss fights earlier in the game, like the boss fight with the moving enemy and the indestructible turret. At least this was in the upper half in comparison with the actual final boss encounter, the non-true one, which was easier than half the bosses in the game earlier than it. In general, it seems that this game has an issue with difficulty balancing. Some levels are more difficult than others, like the final 2 or 3 levels were easier than some of the levels in the beginning part of the game. I'll be covering the credits once I talk about my final thoughts on this game as a whole. Which, come to think of it, considering how short this episode is, I may end up doing so. This may end up being the final part of this Let's Play. But first, let's cover the other game mode. Competition mode, as I said before, is essentially adventure mode, but a lot more straightforward. No continues though, so once you're out of lives, you're dead. Next up is challenges mode. Test your skills with these quick hit challenge levels. Okay, Cola Can Craze. What a wonderful start there. Oh, that's a trick. Yeah, this is gonna take a few attempts because I'm gonna try beating the par. Well, actually, let me start by not beating the par, and start by actually beating the level. But I don't get any extra lives either, so I see the challenge here. Plus I only started with a pistol. I think I missed one though. I guess not. Even if I miss one of the cola cans, it still acts like I won. Turret Tumbler. Rotating platforms. I was hoping there was going to be an invisible platform down there. Why didn't we have these types of rotating platforms in the main game? This would have been a neat challenge. Rats, we now have these turrets that fire grenade launchers. I was hoping to see these challenges in the main game, because right now, after completing the game, I think the main game is too easy. But this part of the game, this is a suitable challenge. Nicely suited for more skilled players who understand this game's physics. Rats almost made it there. There we go. It seems that running into the explosives aren't as damaging as running into those regular projectiles. Portal Puzzler. So a portal maze. It's not just a puzzle level, we have to worry about these enemies. Oh. That was very straightforward. I can easily see why the power time is so low once you get the trick. After all, I think the setup is exactly the same, no matter what run-through you're on. Let's try it again. Almost made it. If I ran off the edge quicker, I would have gotten the power time. Last but not least, Dig Dug Disaster. Certainly the most combat-oriented challenge yet. But it can be completed in 25 seconds as well. I guess you need to spam firing downwards. But as I was saying, I was hoping several of these challenges, especially the rotating platforms like in Turn Tumbler, were actually in the original game, and the portals in Portal Puzzler, and instead of the portal being reserved for a secret exit. I would like a extra mode for cola cans in the main campaign for some extra goodies or for some extra replay value. Well, this part isn't that long, so I think this is a good time to end off this Let's Play by watching the credits and giving my final thoughts as a whole on this game. In my main campaign, I only died about 4 to 5 times. Most of the deaths occurred off screen or during those challenge runs. Though I'm curious that the stat screen is rather spartan. I would have loved to see how long I've been playing the game, how many game completions there are, the number of shots fired for every weapon, how many enemy types I was killed, etc, etc. For a game that's modernized the retro platformer shooter style of running and gunning like Contra and similar titles, this felt rather tame. If anything, this felt like a budget title. Oh sure, I like how you can start at any stage, but you don't have any upgrades, that's the trade-off. And all the stages feel nice, they feel unique. But there are several issues bringing it down. First, I'll start with the good. I like the sound design as well as the enemy design. They are quite varied enough, and the game doesn't feel like it's repetitive. The graphics are on the okay side. At least they aren't the overused 8-bit graphical style, but they are still rather on the bleh side. Music was also okay. It definitely fit the game's aesthetic and gameplay feel. My main problems with the game come with the lack of challenge and the issues with difficulty balancing. My main concern is that certain stages in the first half of the game are harder than the latter half of the game, and I felt that too many jetpack stages were put too close to each other. In fact, in that regard, why isn't there a challenge level focusing on a harder mode version of the jetpack level? That would have been nice to see, with a lot more spikes, rotating platforms, etc. The same issue with difficulty balancing applies with all the bosses. For instance, the normal final boss encounter is easier than 2 or 3 of the previous boss fights. At least the super secret true final boss encounter was more challenging. It used a similar pattern with the normal final boss encounter, but not being able to use the jetpack made it harder. On the note of balance, the weapons aren't really that balanced either. Through my experience, I feel that for most situations, the flamethrower is the best primary weapon. It tears through most enemies, and the only times where it's a bit of a problem to use are when there are enemies firing from afar, like in the super secret final boss encounter and certain segments of levels. But most bosses you can get up close and personal on them and easily melt through them. For situations where you need to fire at enemies from afar, the machine gun is the second best, especially when you get the burst upgrade and you can spam it by mashing the left mouse button. My third favorite primary weapon would be the spread gun. Oh sure, the spread gun is also pretty useful, but unless you can get up close and personal to an enemy, it isn't as useful. But if you can, especially with boss fights, it can easily tear through them. My fourth favorite weapon would be the pistol. My least favorite primary weapon would be the energy weapon, or the plasma gun. You have to charge it and release it to fire its powerful pellet, but I don't feel the pellet isn't as powerful as it should be at its max setting. It should be better. I'd rather have any primary weapon over it, unless its charge time was upgraded, or it had the piercing ability by default. I was also hoping there would be more weapons in this game, like a Tesla gun, a water gun, or something more creative, even a grenade launcher. Overall, I say I'd give this game a below average to par, or almost par, as I feel this game could have been taken further, but as it stands right now, it really feels like a budget run and gun shooter. So I'm hesitant to recommend this game. First look up a playthrough and wait for a sale to try out this title. Well then, I thank you all for watching my Let's Play of Operation Hardcore. If you enjoyed this Let's Play, please rate, comment, and or subscribe, as they all really help out the channel. Also, don't forget to follow me on Twitter, as I regularly post updates there. Thanks for watching, and have a wonderful day. See you in the next Let's Play.